ready to eat some fucking tacos, bro? You ready to eat some fucking tacos, bro?
What's going on, folks? You know what day it is. It is
Talk Tuesday.
I'm Casey.
And I'm E.
And we are Not Your Average Podcast. What up? Welcome back. Eva.
Yes.
It feels a little different today.
It does.
It feels like a weight has been lifted.
A weight has been lifted. Not just for us, though. Not just for us. You can feel the energy everywhere. Like you can feel the energy of everybody.
What's different? What's changed?
You don't know? Well, I mean, if you go back 7 days ago exactly, it was Super Tuesday.
Oh, that's right.
It was Super Tuesday 7 days ago.
Uh-huh.
But we didn't actually get an answer or, have a actual person as president-elect until Saturday.
And that person is?
And our president-elect is Joe Biden. And our VP-elect is Kamala Harris.
Yeah.
I'm really going to make sure I always pronounce her name correctly. I want to pronounce her name right. And because I was pronouncing it incorrect for a very long time.
Right.
But the more popularity and notoriety she got, eventually they gave us a little comma law.
So we have a new president. Well, we still have Trump in the office right now until January, but Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, Kamala.
It's like a comma. Kamala.
We just went over this. We just went through this.
Literally.
Are the new president and vice president elects.
Yes, they are.
So that means Trump is
fired.
Yeah,
he's fired. He lost his job for sure.
Yeah,
but he's not taking it very well.
Not at all.
Yeah,
he's not conceding.
No, he won't.
And everyone that follows him still talking about how all the ballots were illegal and all. Isn't it crazy how when he was in lead, he was like, stop counting.
Exactly.
And now that he lost, he's like, no, you have to count all the votes.
All the ballots.
Like,
all the
what?
Votes. Yeah.
But
last time I checked, from the states that hadn't turned in everything by Saturday, because Pennsylvania took him over the top on Saturday. So he needed 20 votes. So was it 253? And then Pennsylvania gave him 20. So it took him to 273. But Arizona, Nevada was not in yet.
Right.
And last time I checked, he's at 304 electoral college votes.
Gotcha.
So it's done. Even if you give him Pennsylvania, he still couldn't win enough of the vote of the electoral college.
But then you have all the dead people that they said were counted in Pennsylvania too. So.
I don't even understand that. I understand them being mailed out. I don't understand them being mailed back. Being made because Kamala Harris identifies as a Black woman. She says she's a Black woman. And so far as we are all concerned, this is the first Black woman going into the White House in a seat.
America considers her a Black woman.
It's what she considers herself. Because now, all of a sudden, that became a subject matter. It was never a subject matter prior, but now that she's got this seat,
it was because they were talking about how she's trying to get the Black vote by. Sometimes she'll say Black, sometimes she'll say South Asian. But it's like you got to read your crowd. You know what I'm saying? It's like what invokes pride out of the people. Of course you identify as both. She said her mom raised her knowing very well Indian culture, but also understood that she was raising a young Black woman.
Yeah, and her father's Jamaican.
Yeah.
Her father is Jamaican.
And that's where it's like Black, African American, whatever. Like in Latin America, if you're dark skinned, you're Black. It's not, whatever, it's you're Black. So no matter what the lineage is, if you're dark skinned, you're Black. Anywhere else, if you're dark skinned, you're Black. So here, if you're dark skinned, it's always been Black. So why is there an issue now?
Why is there an issue now?
Yeah.
So this is a big moment, as a woman, I was elated, because I'm like, oh my God, okay, this is great. So I was happy. I was happy. And it's no secret, I wasn't a big fan of this team, if you could go back to earlier shows, but
I had to convince her to vote for them. She was going to vote for Trump.
No,
I was like, come on, Eva.
But he did have to break down some things. I mean, but with the options that I was given, I went with the best choice, and I feel I did. And that's something else I wanted to kind of just touch on, on the show. You have, in the world that I work in, I've told you guys many times, it's not a lot of African American people. It's not a lot of Black people. So a lot of them are like, people, voted on character instead of, the things that he can do and the policies. That's what they keep saying. The policies. That is the key word that a lot of people who are just not happy with the winner are saying. They're just like, you. And I said this the other day at work, and I've actually had a conversation with my husband about it too. I do understand what you're saying about the policies, and I'm a little informed of Trump's policies and Biden's. Probably not as thorough as some people on CNN, but I am informed.
Go ahead.
But this wasn't just about policies. This particular campaign, this particular vote, this particular run had a whole lot of character that needed to be evaluated. And I understand people who wanted to pick policies, and most of the time I would have agreed with you that it doesn't matter about their character, it's about their policies. But with this particular election, their character really, really mattered. Their character trumped their policies for me, for a personal reason. And that's why I voted the way I voted. I do understand people who make a certain amount of money do have an issue with the way that it went down. But for me,
if you make $400,000 or more,
right, that's the number. But for me personally, it was about character. And the person who we had in that office has no integrity and no character and no morals and no ethics whatsoever. So I voted the way I feel. I voted for the person who I felt was the best person out of the two people that I had.
Yeah. What up, Malawi? What up, Donna Webster? Oh, she said she's skipping the rest of her class to join live.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Make sure you can make up your work, though. Make sure you can make up your work.
Do not use this as an excuse.
Make sure you make that work, boo.
But a lot of things, people talk about policies and policy and policy. It's okay, name one policy that you agree with of Trump's.
Please. Any of them.
Don't worry, I'll wait.
Yeah.
Hate, because that's the only policy that we see.
Yeah.
And that's the only policy we see is hate.
Yeah.
So
it was just a trip to me that some people were, and they were fighting that hard. But like I said, for me personally, I did pick character. I did pick character. And I don't have an issue with a lot of Biden's policies. I just want to see him act on a lot of the things that he said. And like Donna Webster is saying right now, Congress and Senate control policies. He can't push anything through. But you have to remember also the person, number 45, was really big on executive orders.
Yeah.
He signed an executive order for every damn thing. He signed more executive orders in 4 years than President Barack Obama signed in 8. So he signed a lot of
which is someone that should have signed more because he had everyone against him.
Yeah, definitely.
He had to go through more bullshit to get his stuff out.
And that is one thing President-elect Joe Biden is stating, that he's going to overturn a lot of these things that that 45 has put into play currently. Right. He said that's going to be like day one. He wants to overturn a lot of these things. And to overturn a lot of these things, he's going to also have to get an executive order and sign an executive order to push a lot of things into motion. So that's going to be very interesting. His first 100 days will be very, very interesting. I don't know exactly how it's going to play out, but I will be honest and say I'm sending him and Kamala our very best. I really hope they can just make the United States united again. But like Casey started off the show, I do feel the energy and everything is better. I do feel people are a little relieved that he has an end date. Like we know he's leaving,
Right.
And I don't expect him to accomplish much more in these last days. He's upset. He acts like a child, and I don't expect him to do too much more, but just bitch and moan.
Right.
I'm just being honest. I do not expect a lot from him.
I expect a lot. I feel like he's going to do as much as possible to give Biden a mess to make up, to fix, so he can say, "Ha ha, I told you guys so." Right. It won't be a clean transition whatsoever.
No, not at all.
He's also even refusing to give because Biden is trying to start, building his cabinets and like IKEA and all that, and he has refused to release documents that he would need to build his cabinet. Yeah,
and one of the journalist on CNN said that when George Bush was coming out of office and Barack Obama was going in office, they did have to have a conversation over this thing that Barack Obama had asked George Bush was to help out the automotive industry. He said, if you can just extend it, because I'm gonna take care of it when I get in there, but I just need you to extend it, while you're still in office. And George Bush did oblige and do that for him. And that's just the stuff we don't see. That's just the behind the scenes of transitioning. Right. One's leaving, one's coming. And it's like, hey, don't do this, don't do that. And we all know 45 is not going to be, part of that. He's not going to do that. And he's not going to be willing to work with Joe at all.
Yeah. And so Donald Webb just said, like I said earlier, he's refusing to release Biden's budget for his transition team. Yep. So how can you build a transition team if you don't even know your budget?
Yeah. Won't give him anything. But the crazy thing is nothing he does shocks America anymore. And you have to realize we're like the laughing stock. All the other countries.
Did you not see that when Trump lost? How does it feel to see the world celebrate
Paris?
Paris
lit up the Eiffel Tower.
Yeah, London. Paris rang the church bell. Yeah. How bad do you have to be for the world to be happy that?
People was just dancing in the middle of the street. Mind you, it was cold Saturday. Yeah. It was cold here, and I know it was cold on the East Coast. But people went outside. People wanted to celebrate. People just wanted to be amongst one another, mask and all. They just wanted to be amongst one another and celebrate this.
I believe it was Donald Jr. who tweeted, "Notice there's millions of Republicans, millions of upset Republicans right now. And you don't see any looting or rioting in the streets." And it's like, okay, so you're comparing black men being murdered in cold blood, unarmed black men being murdered in cold blood, to your father not winning an election because he did horrible in his 4 years.
Yeah, that's exactly what he compared to.
Like how? Like really?
That's exactly what he compared to.
And I guarantee you'll hear that over and over and over again this next couple months. About how there's no rioting, no looting. It's like, well, first of all, if you went out to riot and loot on Saturday, you would have been met with a whole bunch of people who were against
positive people who would have had a problem with it.
Yeah.
And it's sad that they want to keep giving you some type of excuse for this man. It's sad, on CNN a few shows back, Chris Cuomo asked, Republicans, what would you do if what would you do if Donald Trump said, I'm a racist? Like he just comes out and says it. Would you still follow? And they're so warped and so brainwashed. They was like, well, they didn't answer the question. He was very clear at saying it's a hypothetical question, but they just couldn't answer it because they just couldn't say, I wouldn't follow him. Because at the end of the day, you believe what he believes.
Right.
It shouldn't take nothing for you to say, I'm not going to deal with a racist. I'm not going to support a racist. I'm not going to vote and follow a racist. In the story, it shouldn't be that simple. It shouldn't be something you have to dwell on and really think about. But if your morals line up with the way his morals do, then you're not going to be so quick to say it, and you're not going to be so quick to back out of it. And that's unfortunate because now he's giving all these people, they feel privileged and they have a voice. Well, they know it's going to be time to, shh and shut up. Because the world is about to change, and that voice that you had for the last 4 years has to be silent again for a very, very long time. So you better get it all out.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be a different day. Real quick. Different day. Yeah, real quick. And I think that's really important that people understand, once again, his character said a lot for me. And that's why I feel he shouldn't have won, and I'm glad he did not win. I don't really give a damn about his policies at this point. It was the character for me and everything he had going on and everything he pushed in people's face. I just had a complete problem with it. Hey, Deanna.
Now, he had a press conference.
Yes.
He had posted on Saturday that he was going to have a press conference at 11 o'clock at the Four Seasons.
Okay.
And so, that was two lawyers and press and all that to, inviting them to come and
be there.
After he lost, 1 o'clock. And So the Four Seasons tweeted.
Twitter, man. Twitter.
The Four Seasons tweeted that his conference will actually be at the Four Seasons Landscaping Company.
Not the hotel.
So Four Seasons Total Landscaping Company.
Right.
Not the hotel, and they were not affiliated with it at all, or with the landscaping company.
Okay.
So they continued. So Trump retweeted that's going to be at the Four Seasons Landscaping, and he didn't show up, but Giuliani,
of course,
his bulldog.
Yeah, mind you, a landscaping company is just that. It's a company. Yeah. Like it's not this. They don't have beautiful landscaping.
Trying to find.
It's an actual company. So he felt like an ass when the Four Seasons came back and shut him down so fast. Like, oh no, we don't have anything to do with that. That's not our hotel chain,
right?
At all, hosting him. And that's where you gotta just sit back and laugh, because Twitter and Instagram and social media gives these companies, a voice quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Normally he wouldn't have, back in the day, you wouldn't have been able to fight that so fast.
Right.
He wasn't going to be there. But Four Seasons was able to fight it real fast.
Definitely.
So KC's getting the picture together to show you guys exactly what this was, because it was not the Four Seasons Hotel. I would tell you that.
So this place, it took place in the park. Oh, where'd it go? It took place in the parking lot, and it's right between. It's between a like a gas station and an adult bookstore.
Who did the booking?
I don't know, but whoever it is, you're fired.
Yeah, who did the booking? They need to be so fired. So KC's getting the picture together to show you guys right now, because this is hilarious.
Sorry,
No, it's fine.
It's a lot right now.
But if you guys could just see all these people gathered in this parking lot with these Trump and Pence signs, mind you, these people, they had to show up. Trump wasn't going to show up, but somebody had to show up to this parking lot.
Now this
is the picture.
Yeah. So here's Giuliani speaking. Now, if you see over here, it's like a gas station in the top right corner. Like off the freeway.
Oh my God, it's awful.
And they did, if you see any pictures from it, like from their side, you'll see like super cropped in, where they have the border in the background, and it's just the border and Giuliani. You don't see everything else, but this is where they were for the president of the United States conference at the Four Seasons Total Landscaping.
Yeah. Somebody should have got fired.
Like, you can't write this stuff. Like this stuff writes itself.
Somebody should have got fired. Real talk.
This stuff writes itself. You can't make this stuff up, man. It doesn't for it. The thing I worry about. I'm so flustered now. The thing that I worry about is, what is Trevor Noah and the Daily Show going to do? Because Trump has given every like late night show host or news show host material for 4 years. 4 years of straight solid material every single day. All you have to do is open your phone and
especially SNL.
Oh my gosh.
Especially
oh my gosh.
SNL. Yeah.
So they're gonna have to actually start being creative, because Trevor Noah took over when Trump became president.
Right.
So he lucked out on that. But we're gonna have to see if he can stay pandemic proof.
Those writers gotta step up.
Yeah. But
those writers gotta step up. I'm sorry, you guys. Casey and I both just got the emergency text.
So we've got emergency alert saying LA
Literally,
City.
we both just got it.
It says,
you gonna read it?
Yeah.
Okay.
LA City, COVID-19 cases are increasing. Please wear a mask and social distance. Get tested if you have symptoms or might have been exposed. LA City is offering free testing with results in less than 24 hours. Sign up at coronavirus.lacity.org/testing. Sign up for emergency alerts. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, that literally just came through our phone. So everybody in LA should have got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that literally just popped in our phone.
Sheesh.
And the numbers are going to increase if you still have people out here who don't think they need a mask on. Yes, I know Casey and I are sitting next to each other without a mask on, but we both wear our mask everywhere else, you know. And Casey and I are very honest with one another. So if one of us thinks something is going on, we're going to tell the other person, because I can't stand it. So after we, of course, we was going to congratulate the new president-elect and the VP-elect, but let's talk about Eva Longoria.
Oh, let's talk about Eva.
Brief moment. I don't want to stay on it too long because it's real fresh. Mm-hmm. So, obviously we don't have a lot of juice because it ain't a lot of juice to give.
Oh, Donna Welp says the bookstore says their business has taken off since this weekend. The bookstore that was next, the adult bookstore.
The adult bookstore. Yeah. I love that.
So some good came out of it, man.
I love that.
Thanks, Trump.
The bookstore should be very happy.
Right. That's wild.
That's hilarious. So Eva Longoria has made the news, you guys, because she has said a couple of comments that, maybe she shouldn't have said. I'm gonna just kind of, maybe she shouldn't have said it the way she said it or how she said it, but hell, she said it. So I'm going to tell you guys exactly what she said. But she was.
Can you tell us?
I want to get the words right.
She said what she said, but she shouldn't have said it how she said it because she felt by the seashore. But I'm gonna tell you how she said it. You ready to hear what she said? So she said what she said.
I can't stand KC. I cannot stand him, and I'm really looking for the story that I had. But KC, go talk to him while I find this story.
Hi guys. So
I'm like, talk to him while I find this story. I have to find the story.
Who said Civil War? Oh, Tahaji said it, pushing for a Civil War. Yeah. Well, I mean, do you think if they were pushing for a Civil War, do you think that we would be ready as a people? At all?
Question. No.
Like at all. Like what does that look like to the American people if a Civil War actually popped off?
Yeah.
Like is that just everyone in the street just going ham? Like how can you tell? Like in the Civil War, they had different uniforms. You know what I'm saying? Like are they gonna hold hang Trump signs out of their windows so they know that they're on their side, or how does this work? Because at the end of the day, what are the teams? What are the groups? Because it's not Democrat and Republican, because a lot of Republicans voted Democrat this year. A lot of Republicans flipped to Democrat this year. So, but they still consider themselves Republicans. They just wanted Trump out of office. So how do we differentiate between who we're fighting for? We don't have Confederate. They don't have Confederate uniforms. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? These aren't two armies going against each other. These are just the people, period.
And that can leave a problem.
Mm-hmm.
So I found the story, and it says, I want to be very exact with what I said, but I actually was. Now that I'm reading it, I was on point. I could have just said it. Mm-hmm. So Eva Longoria was in an interview this past week on MSNBC. This happened on MSNBC, and her exact words were, she expressed Latina women were the true heroes in Biden's historical presidential win. That's what she said. That's her exact words. That Latina women were the true heroes in Biden's historical president win. But if you want to actually know the truth, because I did write this part down, but I had to tell y'all that first. In the preliminary exit poll, 91% of Black women voted for Joe Biden. In comparison, 70% of Latino women. And Joe Biden lost Florida, which is a lot of conservative Latina ex women and Latino men. So for her to say, I did not see the whole interview personally, but I did see longer than the clip that's posted on social media. I did see a little bit more than that. And I saw it in live time because I actually saw when she said it, but I kept moving. So I think what she said, she meant it the way it was taken. And I think after she received all the backlash, she had to start backpedaling. Mm-hmm. And earlier in the interview, she did mention something about Latino men did not come out. She did say that. I'm not going to say she did. But the two comments weren't together. The two comments didn't go together. She's trying to say she put them together, which is fine, but she did not. If you actually look at the interview, they're two completely different things. And it was a much better way for her to word that. If she wanted to, give it up for her culture that did come out in certain parts of the country and did vote for Biden, it was another way for her to word that. But the way she worded it was let's discount the black women. Like it was more Latinas. Like the way she worded it, she was dissing black women. Like she was dissing the culture. It was us. And so that then, year Kamala, is it Kamala? I'm gonna have so many issues with this woman's name. I'm gonna learn it though. This year, I'm gonna learn this shit.
It's called the MVP. Madam Vice President.
Yeah, I am gonna learn it. But she even had to come back and say, we want to thank African American women. And what people don't realize is the reason this is a big issue is because of Stacey Abrams. Stacey Abrams ran for governor in the state of Georgia, and she lost. And after she lost, instead of taking her L and saying, screw this shit, she did not. She went out and started a grassroots organization to involve more people of color. She went out and started a grassroots organization to register voters. She went out and started this organization to teach people how to vote and how much it matters and what their vote really means. And to be exact, she registered over 800,000 voters. This is what Stacey Abrams did in the state of Georgia. I'm not talking about the United States. She did this in one state.
Right.
So when you want to say that Latina women did something, I won't take from you what Latina women did, but you can't take from me what this woman just did. And this woman was an African American woman. This woman was a black woman, and she lost. She lost a race, and not only did she lose it, she turned that L into a lesson, and she registered over 800,000 people to vote. And that is why Biden won. And that's why Georgia went from red to blue. And until Eva Longoria can tell me those type of numbers, what you said is what you meant. And you shouldn't have said it. You was incorrect when you were saying it. And I get you wanted to defend your culture because I like to defend my culture too. But you have to be factual. And it really pissed her off because in Joe Biden's speech, he did one part of the speech. He thanked everybody. He thanked a lot of different, ethnicities and cultures. And then he came in and said, but I really want to give a special thank you to that African American culture. And I think that really rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. But at the end of the day, he thanked the people who needed to be thanked. He thanked the people who got his ass in that office. He thanked the people who really stood in these lines and dealt with the voter suppression they were going through to get the votes out, to make sure their vote counted. And that's what people have to understand. A lot of Republicans went to the polls. Republicans went to the polls and voted. That's why Trump was in the lead so long. But then Democrats, a lot of them are older. A lot of them didn't want to go out. They had mail-in ballots. So as the mail-in ballots started getting counted, that's when Trump realized, oh, hell. Everybody, all the mail-in ballots are Democrat. All my people didn't went out to vote. Trump didn't have a lot of mail-in ballots.
I mean, and not only that, Trump preached so much against mail-in ballots.
Yes, he did.
So his people were like, I'm going to vote in person.
So their votes counted immediately. That was the first number Georgia had on November 3rd.
Magically, they disappeared. I don't know what happened.
So people have to take in consideration. It was a lot of mail-in ballots this year, a lot of provisional ballots this year, and all those had to be counted too. And that's how Georgia was able to flip. So like Donna Webster says, Stacey Abrams recognized the big picture. She is not in this for herself. She is in this for the people. I agree. And that's why she should have won.
Definitely.
Yeah, I agree.
Yes. What up, Dom? Yeah, it's definitely crazy election.
It was.
And I mean, could we expect anything else from 2020?
That was all me.
This election was very 2020. So we should be used to it by now. We should be used to it.
Actually, that's a good point.
Like if it went smoothly and we had a president-elect on Tuesday, it would have felt weird. It would be like, something's wrong here. Recount all of them.
So Tahaji once just said, when the Latinas and the Latinos can flip Texas and Florida, then we can have a conversation. And I agree. Then we can have a conversation. But right now, there is no conversation. And Eva was pissed and she said something she shouldn't have said. And she piggybacked on it real fast. Real fast.
I mean, I don't think she was pissed. I think that she just wanted to give props to the people that was in her demographic.
I think what Biden said upset her. That he specified us in that last comment.
But he did also say red, blue, green.
He did. He said all that. Then he came in and gave us a special thank you, a different thing. And I don't think it sat well with her personally.
Everyone can't be a winner.
Everybody can't be a winner.
Everybody can't be MVP, all right?
Yeah,
that's it
very
shows
true.
that black people came out and they showed up and showed out.
Yeah.
So, hey, either way, we got the person in office that we want. Mm-hmm. Now we just have to make sure that we hold him accountable.
Speak on it,
for all the promises that he's made.
Yes.
And I feel like him having Kamala would help, because I feel like she would help keep him accountable too. Okay. You know, because they're from two totally different places. You know what I'm saying? They have two totally different worlds. So if he does something bad, that makes her look bad. Right. You know what I'm saying? And she knows she got all of us riding for her. Right. So she don't want the smoke. She knows she don't want the smoke. I don't
think she wants the smoke, but I also think if you think in long term, how most women do think, women are long-term thinkers. We think, we see the vision all the way through. Thank you, Eric. She meant what she said. You're right. Women see the vision all the way through. No disrespect to KC or every other man out there, but we do. So with that being said, I think Madam Vice President is going to be very smart these next 4 years, because at the end of these next 4 years, Joe Biden will be 81 years old when he comes out of the house. And I don't.
Y'all saw how Obama looked after those 8 years.
Joe Biden's gonna be 81 years old. Even though I don't think technically right now he's thinking of his second term. He just wants to get in there and do his first term. Yeah. He's gonna be 81 years old. Yeah. Walking back into that type of stress.
But he did run out. He did run out
He gonna show us his youth. He gonna show us his youth.
Got these knees, baby. Come on now. Trump couldn't even walk down a ramp. Look at this baby.
He got that cortisone shot real quick.
All right.
Ran on out there.
He showed out.
And just with that in mind, and we don't know what the future holds with his health, I think it's a strong possibility if he does not run for his second term, she will. Mm-hmm. And if she does, she knows the only way she's going to make the type of change that she made on this type of campaign is to make a difference in that White House in the next 4 years. She has to make a difference in that White House in the next 4 years. And I do think she's going to be smart. I was not always a fan of every move she made when she was Attorney General in Oakland. Mm-hmm. But I do think she's learned her lesson. I think both of them have. And I think both of them would think things out a little bit more thorough. Mm-hmm. And I'm hoping they do. I'm hoping they think things out a little bit more thorough. But I want to truly believe they will. But I agree with you 100%. Mm-hmm. We have to hold them accountable for all these things they've been saying during their campaign. They've been talking about school tuition. They've been talking about small businesses. They've been talking about home ownership. They've been talking about all these things to help the middle and lower class people of the world. Can to make them come to facts. Mm-hmm. I do understand he has a House and a Senate that he has to run a lot of things through, but I really, really would like to see him, stick to some of the things he's promised.
Yeah.
I would.
But like Donald says, Kamala, she has a future to look at in politics as well.
Kamala's young. Yeah. I don't know if you guys know. Kamala's only 56 years old.
My question is, why do people? So you have to be 35 to run for president, right?
There's no cutoff.
Why do people wait so long to become president?
Well, they want to. President Barack Obama was one of the first people to run for. Hi, Mom. Hey, Casey.
What up, Taz?
President Barack Obama was one of the first people to run with not a long list of accolades. And that's why they kept calling him a community organizer,
socialist,
because he wasn't in politics very long. I think a lot of people feel they have to have had all these titles before they can take that
maybe
seat.
It'll change because now they see Trump had no experience in politics
whatsoever.
And he became president.
And a lot of times, if you just look at the history, a lot of our presidents, not all, a lot of our presidents have been in the military. Mm-hmm. So they look at that too.
And Trump hadn't.
Well, neither was President Obama.
Yeah, Obama wasn't
Obama hadn't. I don't think Bill was either. I may be wrong. Where's our fact check? I may be wrong.
Didn't Bill play saxophone in the?
I don't think he was in the military. But with that being said, I think that holds a lot of people back and not want to do it. But my husband and I have been talking, and I think the RNC is looking for their own Obama. I think the RNC is going to go out here and grab as many people of color as they possibly can.
If they come at me, they come at me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm sorry, y'all. I might have to flip, but I'll be on y'all side somewhat. I got a lot of white people behind me though, so just be easy. You see how hard it was with Barack? Just be easy. Like Donna says, like we push all the time.
They come at me. Okay.
We push all the time, vote in the midterm elections. Vote in all these smaller local elections.
Yes. And we do.
Because we need that Senate.
Yeah, we need both. Yeah. We need both of them on our side for him to push anything through. That's why all votes matter, you guys. And we have to vote every 2 years and every 4 years. And I think a lot of people are figuring that out now. That I'm missing other elections. Yeah. And that's good that they're being aware and they're learning that they're missing other elections. And Donna Webster also said it takes so long because they have to earn the respect of people who will back and fund them. Yes, she's answering why people wait till they're older to run because they need backing. Yeah. You need backing. You have to
unless you have money like Trump.
Yeah. Romney had money too.
So that's what I need y'all to do. I need y'all to share, like, comment, and subscribe all the time so we can get our numbers up so I can get people to back us because that's okay. We'll get it from here.
Okay.
Again. Oh, man. Might as well start now.
AC wasn't recording.
I wasn't recording this whole time, y'all. But it'll still be an audio podcast. Watch.
He gonna make it happen. But why when I'm
not all here. It's been a long day, guys.
But why when I looked over at the time because he started talking, I was like, oh, how long we been on?
We haven't been on.
And that's how I noticed it. And I just looked at him like, you're not recording. The light's green, not red. But it's okay. It's okay.
It's been a day, guys.
It's been a day. But with that being said, wow. Okay. But we'll catch it. We'll get it from here. We'll get it from here.
I'll splice it. Don't worry. We'll get it. Don't worry about it. So if you do listen to the podcast on SoundCloud, or not SoundCloud,
iTunes, Podbean.
Why would SoundCloud even be an option? We're trying to get a mixtape out?
He's not on here. You can listen to the podcast on Podbean, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Spotify, iTunes, Stitchers,
Castbox.
Yeah, we're everywhere. Yeah, we're on all streaming. That's why I just say all streaming platforms. We're really everywhere right now. We're everywhere. And we wanted to kind of Dominic says the older generation looked at Trump's reign as a new Reagan era. I agree with you. As a new Reagan era on steroids. I agree with you.
Definitely.
I agree with you. And because if they kept showing Reagan's numbers when it was when John King was on showing the different states, and Reagan pretty much had the whole United States red. Like everybody liked Reagan. So I think Donald thought he was going to try to get that same regime, and I agree, and he did not because the world's different.
Yeah, I mean he got close. I mean you still got people talking about still count those votes.
Well, he himself is even saying it.
Yeah,
but it's no point because, like I said, last time I checked, President-elect Joe Biden was at 304. That he was at 304. So. It's over. It's just not happening. But and a lot of people are saying he hasn't conceded. He doesn't have to concede. He does. That's not part of it. You don't have to do it. Yeah. It's just respectful to do it. It's mature to do it. You bow out gracefully to do it. So you just listen to all the words I used. It's no way in hell's name. He's going to do any of that.
None of those describe Trump at all.
At all. So he's not going to do it.
Graceful, respectful, none of that.
A lot of people have been showing John McCain's speech when he conceded. And it was graceful.
That's how you concede.
That's how you do it. Because you should tell the people who supported you something. You owe that to them. Yeah. They've rode this wave with you, and they wanted to see you come out.
I don't even want to hear a concede. I don't even want to hear it.
No, I can care less. I can care less.
Yeah, Jamila, yes, I'm good, but I am not okay. Franny said, y'all lit tonight. Actually, we've only sipped a couple sips tonight.
Yeah, we have.
It's been
a week, though, and it's only Tuesday.
Yeah.
It's been a week, you guys. It's been a week. But
we got lives outside of this, people.
Yeah, but I'm gonna share like 2 seconds of mine. Anybody out there dealing with Zoom school? Man. These teachers, they running me low. And my kid is a senior, and these teachers are running me so low. Sometimes she gets on Zoom, the teacher is not even there, And it just drives me up a fucking wall. And like I said, my daughter's a senior. So anybody who's dealing with one teacher, an elementary school, K through 5, all hats off to you, because these 6 teachers have ran me low. And they just not showing up the way I need them to show up if school is in session. They're not on top of their stuff, and they sending me bogus ass emails about my kid, and it's driving me crazy. I can't wait till it's over.
So from the sound of it sounded like he sent that out because he had to send it out.
Her teacher sent out an email saying her grade wasn't well because he's saying with the school policies, the date had came and they had to send it out.
But he knew that.
But the thing is, if you had just graded all the papers, because you can see she's turned them in, just click the button, and you can see she's turned them in. Then I wouldn't have got the email, but I got the email. I'm a parent, and I went ballistic. Yeah. So that's where it was at. So I am just over the whole Zoom situation. I totally am. That's 2 seconds of some shit I'm going through. That's a little piece of this big ass pie I got going on.
So on my end, I'm not gonna say much because it's a new client that I'm excited about. So
right.
It's just a lot getting back in the swing of things and being pandemic safe, pandemic friendly. Everything is weird. I'm not in their house. I'm preparing somewhere and then dropping off at their house, but in order to get what they want they have to order what they want from me pretty much. I give them a list of possible options for the week and they tell me what they want for the week, but this is the first week doing it. And so I'm getting notifications that
all times of
8 in the morning to be dropped off at 11:30. It's like, okay, I got to grocery shop. I got to do all types of things.
Prepare the shit.
But we're working it out. It's like, we're working it out and we're getting there. And next week will be a better week. Yeah. And
you just got to get in the flow.
And then also I'm also thinking now, because right before the show, I got what they wanted for tomorrow, Thursday and Friday. So I got to do all that by 11:30 tomorrow, including shopping. So I'm in the future too. So
he is. He is. I'll give you that. Yeah. So Donna Webster said Republicans are not coming out against Trump, not conceding because they didn't want to affect the election in Georgia. You know what though? The Republican Party is sick of him. And if you look at the journalists that's on, MSNBC and CNN, they don't even know how to defend this guy anymore. They're tired of him too. And I hope they do regroup. And I hope they do, get them some other young people out there and really, fix their party. Because right now it's not even a race. If that's what you're pushing up against the Democrats, these old men who think like he do, you guys will never have the seat again. It won't even be a competition.
Yeah.
It's on me.
Oh, so it was about what you're talking about.
Okay.
Malawi says, or S. Polanco says, the teachers, professors are somewhat lazy during the Zoom process. We are basically teaching ourselves.
They really are.
I have seen, I saw a message, a message thread between a teacher and a parent. And the parent was chastising the teacher for her daughter failing the class.
I saw that.
And then she was like, the teacher was like, I can only do my job, do so much from over here. She was like, I cannot get your daughter up in the morning and get her in front of the computer. If she's not in front of the computer, there's nothing I can do about that.
Right.
And I have 60 plus students. I can't call every single student that's not there.
Right.
And that is not my job. And then she goes, she's like, well, you should reach out. She's like, I've reached out to your husband and blah, 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 blah.
And that's when
she's
she
like,
said, don't talk to
my husband. That's very disrespectful.
Yeah.
And blah, blah, blah. She's like, well, you listed your husband as the emergency contact. If we cannot reach you, we tried you several times, cannot reach you, so we contacted your husband.
Right. Well, in that case, the teacher was right.
Yeah.
Because it is our responsibility
these teachers are going through some things
to make sure that they have a serious corner and make sure that they're being, they have everything they need for school. But in my case, my child is a young adult. She has everything she needs. But the kids be on Zoom, y'all. And the damn teacher is not on Zoom. So it's like, where your teacher at? And you can see all the kids. Yeah. They're all sitting there and then the teacher creeps in. Good morning, you guys. Where the hell you been? Yeah. Like, where the hell you been? So some of these teachers are being a little bit.
You didn't have traffic. You didn't have to fight traffic.
No.
From your bedroom to the living room. Like, what was the situation?
What's the issue? So I do agree, probably for some elementary, a lot of people, I'm not going to say a lot of moms and dads, but a lot of people did depend on the school a lot. So I get the one you're particularly talking about. She was a little out of pocket as a parent. And then that whole thing she had with talking about don't reach out to the girl, the child's father. Well, what the hell you put his damn name on the thing for? If you don't want them to call your husband, don't put his name. I put my husband's name first. I put my husband's name first.
Or answer the phone.
But because his job have him running around Kaiser all goddamn day, he can never answer the phone. So when I see the damn number, I'm like, shit. They didn't call him. He can't do it. So it's on me now. On me. So I answer the phone. I mean, if you don't answer the phone, they're just going to keep going down the list till they get an adult.
Kids that you're dealing with.
It's your kids. Yeah.
That's what Uncle says. That's another thing. We get flooded with emails every day, all day. I bet. I'm one of them. I'm one of them, girl. I be emailing too. And Deanna Stevens, a lot of parents aren't fit for teaching anyone. But that's one thing I said, like, hopefully, like, after this whole thing's over, like, people understand how hard it is to be a teacher. Yeah. Because you're dealing with, your child, but you don't know all these other 30 to 60
and
students.
Sometimes the classes are overcrowded.
Yeah, like definitely.
That particular teacher said she had like over 30 or 40 students. Yeah. I mean, that's a lot of kids.
Yeah.
On Zoom.
Right.
That's a lot of kids. That's a lot of kids. So
just imagine.
It hasn't been easy for the teachers, but unfortunately, I am not a teacher, so I'm speaking from a parent, and it has not been easy for a parent. And I'm really over it. I'm really over it.
Apple juice. FLG, D-Lo.
No, we're not. It's not apple juice.
It is apple juice.
It's some apple juice.
I mean, it's apple juice in it.
Yeah, it's apple juice in it. Good point. It's apple juice in it.
Call me a goddamn lie. In front of my family and everything. I am drinking apple juice, and it's Simply, so it's 100% natural, not from concentrate. Apple juice.
Apple juice. That's what we'll say. So we're going to close out our show tonight, you guys.
I mean, it's only been 47 minutes. Let's go like 3 hours like we did last week.
Okay. We did go.
We didn't have no chips. We didn't have no dip. We didn't have no hard shell, soft shell.
Now, I wanted to recap the election, and then, a few things happened this week. I wanted to definitely touch on those and talk about that. I didn't do a lot of chips and dips for the culture. I did make it more so catered around the election.
What was homegirl? God, what's her name?
What homegirl?
Starts with a P. She acts really childish all the time, but she's grown now. She's been acting since she was a kid.
Keke Palmer?
Keke Palmer. So she got some heat recently.
Why did I know though?
All right.
What was her heat?
So she tweeted
EBT healthy food. I thought that was a great idea.
Yeah, definitely. But she was like, it was the way she was like, wouldn't it be great if people learn or people ate healthy or bought healthy foods with their EBT?
And she said like, let it be free. Like, if it's all healthy for them, then it wouldn't cost as much and take so much of their.
But that wasn't her original tweet.
Oh,
that might have been a cleanup.
Oh, what was the original?
What I just said.
Oh, she put
Yeah, like it was like. So a lot of black people took it as if.
But how much hot food can you buy with an EBT? I thought most of the things you
bought not hot food, healthy
grocery
food.
Store food.
Healthy food.
Oh, healthy.
She said healthy food.
Well, healthy food's expensive.
Well, that's the thing.
It is.
So a lot of people took offense to the. Disconnected. And but my thing is you only get so much with EBT.
Right.
And I don't know if they still do, but before they had restrictions, I know like it was like you couldn't buy soda and certain things, like
oh, I didn't know they had restrictions.
That was back that was back.
Oh, like, I did know it had to be food.
Yeah.
Like it can't be like toiletries and things like that.
Which I think that should be added to it because that's a necessity.
Well, they give them money too.
Oh, the GA. Yeah,
they give money too.
Yeah.
But I don't think
GR, General Relief.
Yeah, GR.
GR.
Yeah, but I don't think they get a lot of money. But I did.
Oh yeah, there we go. She said if you could only purchase healthy food with EBT. There we go.
Yeah, she always comes through.
Right.
Yes.
So
yeah.
But I don't understand the problem with that, except for if you go to a lot of places that have a heavy concentration of people that need EBT, there's not a lot of healthy food options. Like they're called food deserts. Like these grocery stores don't have fresh produce. Like if they have produce, it's like old, or like how Food for Less is all the stuff that's old from Ralph's. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and then you should get your meat at the meat counter. That's always a tad bit fresher than the meat that's in the frozen food department. But a lot of people don't know that. But the meat goes to the meat counter first. And then after it sits at the meat counter for a couple of days, if they can't sell it, then they package it up and they wrap it up and they put it in the frozen food. But it's actually fresher if you go to the meat counter. It costs a little more, but it's fresher because once they cut it up, they'll cut the disease out. I don't know if a lot of people
sometimes add color to it too.
Yeah, they add color and they'll cut certain parts of it out. And then when they stack the steaks or stack the pork chops or stack whatever you're eating, they just cover it, where they cut it out at and they stack it right on top of each other. So it is healthier to buy from the meat counter, and a lot of grocery stores do not have a meat counter.
Yeah. So, I mean, if they were buying only healthy food, they wouldn't be able to use their EBT in their own neighborhoods.
Well, also, I'm gonna defend them a bit. Healthy food is very expensive, and a lot of people who have EBT, they're not just feeding one kid.
Exactly,
they're feeding
a family.
They're feeding a family. They're feeding a lot of children, and everybody needs to get full. When you're a mom, you cook for people to get full. Like you want dinner to be the last meal in the house. You don't want them to go back in there and looking for snacks. You want to get them full. And I'm not knocking healthy food. Healthy food can be filling, but it's hard to stretch it sometimes. A 6-year-old don't really want a salad.
Right.
And don't get me wrong, you can, my daughter was a healthy kid. So some kids do, but a lot of kids don't. They play hard. They need to eat. They need a hearty meal.
Well, I mean, you can have a hearty, healthy meal like my mom. So
but you're talking about a parent who probably just went to work. Say if she don't have a car, she comes
the train home. Like I said, my mom,
she's tired when she gets home.
But it's not just like preparing a meal. It's what you have accessible in the home. If you have things accessible, like my mom made sure we always had healthy food in the home, because she worked 2 to 3 jobs my whole childhood, but we had access to that food in our home so we could cook, which is how I, pretty much started cooking, but it's there. As long as you have it in the home, replace some of the unhealthy things with the healthy things.
You can balance it. You can balance it. And you can transition slowly. Because I do have a junk food cabinet at home. I do have junk food for the kids. And I have big kids. My kids are grown. But I keep certain things in the house that I know they like. So you can transition slowly. Yeah. I mean, it's not
it's not even transition. Just start it from jump. You know what I'm saying? Like when you're.
Well, if we're talking to people who haven't done it, you can transition slowly. Yeah. You can start buying healthy food. But I do.
And there's healthy options of other things too. Take them out the package. Take them out the wrapper. Put them in an airtight container so they don't know that the Oreos are the Odeos. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a lot of it with kids is the visual. I had a client whose son only drank a brand of milk that had a little boy on it. And the brand changed the cover of the milk, and he would not drink it. He would not drink it because it had an older boy and his mom. He didn't want that milk, even though it was the exact same milk. Yeah. So a lot of it is visual with kids. They associate certain things with certain feelings and taste and all this stuff. So
they do. Taste
take it out the wrapper, take out the package, and put it in like a little glass container or a plastic container, and you're good to go.
That's a good point, Casey. I like that point. And she did say healthier options. I didn't know she said after.
She might not have. Oh, okay. But I think it was the only. I know it was some type of negating phrase, a term in there. So it was the only. Could only buy healthy food. I was like, this don't sound negative enough. Carla Michelle said we grew up with no junk food. I'm 35 and I don't have a single cavity, folks.
That's good. I've never had a cavity either, though.
Yeah.
And I'm not 35. But I've never had a cavity. Never. Donna Webster says, some folks don't know how to cook with fresh vegetables and how to make meals that stretch, but access is the biggest issue.
But you want to know what?
And you're right, because I did say stretch. They got to stretch the meal.
Also, access to knowledge is all right here. You could YouTube anything and learn right away. And we have all this information in our pocket. True. We have all this information in our pocket. You can go to YouTube University, learn some tricks of the trade, learn some tips, learn some recipes that you can stretch out, you can change, you can alternate. You know what I'm saying? So there's really no excuse if you really want it to happen.
Times have changed. Times have changed. And then you have a lot of people who got different sicknesses, to certain things.
So I just said they'll know the difference as soon as they bite into it. I'm telling you, no, they don't. Trust me.
Some kids don't. If they're young enough, they actually won't know the difference. Girls love quick snacks like we do.
But then it's
like you can make them healthy though. Yeah. But we do.
There's healthy alternatives to all those chips.
Deanna Stevens says it's easier to eat healthy if you have healthy food and fresh food in the house. Agreed.
And it's also easier to eat healthy, or it's also easier to have fresh food in the house if you have fresh food in your neighborhood.
Well, yeah,
but that's the issue. Saying. A lot of places don't.
That's what you were saying, exactly. And Eric Wade says healthy eating should be introduced early in the household. That misconception that health food is bland and undesirable is a myth. It's how she prepares and cooks your meal. And he's a chef too, like you. So he, you guys know your way around the kitchen. Yeah, he's a chef also.
We're gonna have the chef picture pose. You know how all chefs do this in the picture?
What is that?
I have no idea. I saw so many people do it, so I did it in my picture. So my current Instagram pictures be like this.
Are you?
I don't know what it is.
A knife and a fork?
No, just crossing your arms.
I'm like, are you holding a knife and a fork?
Crossing your arms. I don't know why. That's just the chef pose.
You know what?
It's
they do pose like that.
It's like the b-boy pose for. I don't know what it is. I don't know what I bet you Eric got a couple pictures like that.
Jimmy, listen, nobody care about your mouth. We just letting you know. We ain't never had one.
I'm about to get my wisdom teeth taken out though. Whoa.
Oh, he lost his whole mic.
I lost the whole mic, the mic stand.
He lost everything. I had my wisdom teeth taken out after I had my first kid.
Yeah. I was waiting for that, but I'm not having any kids anytime soon. So Carla said I had hella cavities.
She like me too.
She was the candy girl.
Yeah, nothing wrong with
candy girl.
Nothing wrong with sweet tooth.
But yeah, Deanna said Google it. Yeah, just Google. Like we have all this information in our pocket.
Casey's struggling. We gotta eat this.
And I'm like, we about to be out of it, but y'all keep talking.
His whole mic is in his hand.
Yeah,
he is struggling.
That's an issue throughout America and low income areas.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is.
Like it's crazy.
Well, you know what? Before we leave, I didn't think of that. That if they're not by a store that has fresh produce and that has
I've been saying that this whole time. And now Jamila's saying it's a thing. I've been saying let me reclaim my time real quick. I've been saying this for a minute.
I'm agreeing with you.
Now Kamala getting in the White House. Now my opinion don't matter. You gotta have a strong black woman to say something after I say it.
No, that wasn't it. I was agreeing with you
guys. Deanna said a lot of people started their own gardens and went like gardens or window gardens, etc. During COVID. Yeah,
that's true.
I have seen that.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
Yeah,
I have heard that also.
There we go.
Carla Michelle said, yep, there are more access to vegan restaurants, etc. now than back in the day. Charlotte has a vegan restaurant on every corner, it seems. Vegan restaurants are becoming popular. I didn't know how popular they was becoming around the United States, but they were huge in Cali. They're huge in Los Angeles.
You know who opened a vegan restaurant?
Who? Casey, who?
This guy.
He did. You guys, I'm going to end y'all with a funny story. Okay, so I have always known Casey was a chef. That's when I met him. When I first met him, probably like 5 years ago now. When I first met Casey, I knew he was a chef. I thought Casey was vegan because the first time I ate something from Casey, it was vegan. So I just assumed everything he made was vegan because I knew he was really healthy. So where were we? I can't remember. Oh, my event. My event. I had Casey chef be the chef in my event. I had Casey make vegan options, and I had a girlfriend of mine make regular options. But Casey was the chef.
No such that regular.
Well, non-vegan options. But Casey was the chef for the event. So when he brought out the food, he brought out her food and he brought out his food. And one of my close girlfriends at the time, she knew we thought he was vegan. So one of the women ate a meatball off the plate and she was like, oh, this is delicious. And she was like, I know you would never know vegan meatballs can taste like this. KC didn't make those damn meatballs. My girlfriend who did the cooking made the meatballs. So at the end of the night, everybody telling KC they love something, and he's just like, I don't think that's what I made. Like, and so
now my vegan meatballs are fire though, just to let you know.
So when we was closing up and we was packing, I was like, Casey, those meatballs was fire. I was like, everybody loved them. Like, Eva, they were not vegan meatballs. He was like, your friend made those. I just served them.
So I feel like there was a woman who was vegan.
Yes, and she had like 6 meatballs.
Was scarfing them down.
Yes. It was all that.
That wasn't me, folks. So as Polanco, that's how I met her. She was a regular at the restaurant. Like she was faithful. Like there, she kept us open.
That's good.
She legit kept us open.
You was there a long time.
It was.
So we thank you for keeping them open. We appreciate it.
It was a long time in LA years.
It was. I'm gonna give you guys our bill. Wrong button. Oh, there you go. I'm like, wrong button. Where are we going? Where are we going? Man. So we opened up the show giving a big shout out and congratulations to President-elect Joe Biden and VP-elect Kamala Harris.
Yes.
I'm gonna get this name. So congratulations to both of them. And from Taco Tuesday to them, we are truly, truly praying for you. We hope that you guys do, it's a smooth transition, and we really want to see you guys win. Mm-hmm. And we really want to see you guys unite the United States of America. And, take some accountability. We're going to hold you accountable for what you said, and we want to see that you get it done.
Mm-hmm.
Or as much as you can possibly get done. We want to see that happen. And then
if not, in 4 years,
it's us.
KC&E.
It's us.
Coming to a White House near you, baby.
Fuck it.
And that's going to be our slogan. That's going to be our campaign motto. Fuck it. Well, you say you have no political experience
and
whatsoever.
We're going to do the chef pose.
Fuck it.
And then after we talked about that, we had to talk about the Eva Longoria situation and her saying that the Latinas, helped and, the black women did it, but let's talk about the Latinas. They're the real heroes in this situation. And some people say she didn't mean it that way, but I listened to it, and in my opinion, and it looks like with a lot of our listeners tonight, we all say she meant what she said.
Mm-hmm.
She meant the way she said it. She meant the way we took it. That happened, and that's that. But Kamala, our new VP, has made it very clear that she supports Black women. She knows Black women got her in that house. President-elect Joe Biden also gave a separate shout out to the African-American women who helped him get in that house. So we appreciate being noticed, and we appreciate being recognized.
Mm-hmm.
And then after we talked about that, we kind of went left. It was kind of my fault because I talked about Zoom.
We didn't talk about the kid that was killed.
Juan.
Yeah.
No, we didn't. We didn't touch it. We will though next week.
Okay.
We will touch it next week
because we don't have a lot of information.
I don't
on it
have
yet
a lot
either.
of info on it. So not enough.
Yeah, it would have been
I need more.
Anyway.
So I changed the subject. We talked a little bit about Zoom. And then from Zoom, we went straight into healthy eating. So don't ask where the last 2 subjects came from, but they was here.
They came from you guys, which is why we decided to not ever plan a show for the past month.
Because it always changed directions. But we love that because as I always say in our Instagram posts and our Facebook posts, join the conversation. Mm-hmm. So we appreciate you guys joining. We
wouldn't have a show if it wasn't for y'all. So thank you very much.
We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for y'all. So we appreciate
I would because I ain't got nothing to do.
We appreciate it. Once again, if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do. Because we don't have a lot of YouTube followers or subscribers, but we know people be listening, and our audio is doing very well on all the streaming platforms. So that makes us really happy. So, but we want to do well everywhere. We want to do well on all platforms that we're on. And once again, thank you for joining us. Thank you for supporting us. We're not going to end the year with a live this year, obviously, because of COVID-19. But you can rest assured, as soon as President-elect Joe Biden say we can go out, we going out.
Right.
And Taco Tuesday going to be outside.
Yeah.
Outside. What you mean you subscribed? You hadn't subscribed?
No, I think he said I've subscribed. Not I just have.
That was the wife, y'all.
Right.
What you mean you have subscribed?
All right, guys. Well, it's been a great show. Thanks for
yes. Joining us.
joining us.
Yes.
That's what you did.
Yeah. Thanks, Jamila. And like always, you can always follow us on Instagram, Taco Tuesday 365. If you ever have a subject that you would like us to talk about, but you don't want to say it where everybody can see your comments, you can always email us at tacotuesdayla@gmail.com. I check our email on a constant basis, so I will get your message. You can always DM us. Both of us are on the page. And if you just don't want to be known, but it's a subject you want our take on, just holler at us and let us know, and we'll give you our POV.
Yeah. All right. Well, once again, guys, I'm KC.
I'm E.
And we are Not Your Average Podcast.
Good night, you guys. What is that? What is that? You're not going to play. Fuck, dude. He didn't have a gun.
Helicopters over my balcony. If the police can't arrest, they want to smoke every